Now, with longer days and more sunshine on the way, now is the time to get out into the garden again. But a recent survey revealed that 45% of over 40s lack confidence, actually, to take up the trowel, so to speak, which is sad, actually, because I think it's... You have to just start, Janet, don't you? I mean, I love gardening, and I was very lucky because I grew up with gardeners. My grandma was a very, very good gardener. My mum's a very, very good gardener. So it was kind of, even when we lived abroad, she would always have something, a window box, you know. And it was actually when I got my first flat, I bought my first flat and had a little patio. And I was like, oh, I should do a couple of pots. And I rang my mum and was like, what do I put in it? She's like, get some petunias. And then a few weeks later, I was like, these flowers, like, nothing's happened. She went, did you deadhead them? I was like, what's deadheading? And that's how I learnt, you know. And so I think I can understand why people are kind of reluctant, because they go, well, I don't know where to start.
Well, the main thing is they're reluctant because the gardening programmes on television show such perfection. Yeah. And you go to the gardening centre or you look at the plants outside the supermarket and they're in pots. And then you look at the gardening shows and they're great big clumps and you think, how did they get that plant to be that size? And all the plants butt up against each other and there's no weeds in between. And so what you see is something so gorgeous. It is a bit... You know, you sit there and you wallow in it. And, of course, Monty Don's got the lovely dog and you look at him and all the hedges are perfectly trimmed. And my granddad and my dad were very keen gardeners, but they were obsessed with vegetable growing. And so I grew up obsessed with growing veg, and I am still obsessed with growing veg. But when I moved to Norfolk, I inherited a garden that was full of plants. So I understand the fear. I don't know what these plants are, and it's quite difficult.
But you've got the same, haven't you? Inherited a garden that...
Yeah, I've inherited a garden, it's lovely. But, I mean, I look at a plant and it just instantly wilts. Yeah. I just look at it, you know, and I remember one time I went out, I thought, right, I'm going to clear all these weeds up, and it was at my old house, and my neighbour came running out, what are you doing? I said, I'm clearing the weeds, and they went, they're really expensive plants. Yeah. I was like, oh. So I'm terrible, but like you, Kira, who's very into cooking now and cooking very healthy and all that, we inherited this greenhouse, which was very overgrown. It was all broken at our new house. And she cleaned it all out. And now look at all the stuff she's growing.
Oh, look at that.
And, you know, she's got an absolute array of vegetables growing. And
got to water them every day.
She waters them every day. She's obsessed. And when she goes away, she goes, Mum, do not forget to water the vegetables. And I'm thinking, they'll die as soon as I walk in.
No, I'm not. And I've just moved into my new house and I've got this, it's very small, but this beautiful walled garden. And clearly the people before me were keen gardeners. And so with all this lovely weather we've had, I've sat out there going, oh, my God. I mean, I've got... Well, that's the rose wall on the back wall of the house. And then here, there's wisteria, there's, like, all different coloured roses coming out, some red thing. I have no idea what it is. It's very pretty. And hydrangeas, apparently. Somebody told me I've got...
Don't, if you take on a house.
But I'm going to have to learn, because they won't all come out next season.
Get the plant app on your phone, get a plant app so you can point it at the plant and see what the plant is. And with the roses, the main thing with most roses, like the ones you showed there, is deadhead as many as you can. With
so what does that mean? When they've died?
When they've died and you see a rose
fallen off, you get that little rose hip.
Rose hip, cut it off, because that encourages the plant to carry on and produce more flowers. Obviously, with a climbing rose, it's quite hard to get high up. Yeah. And with wild roses, there's no point in deadheading them because the big red hips are actually a very important, decorative, lovely part of the...
What about hydrangeas? Do that as deadhead those as well,
Deadhead, yes. Yeah. And the other thing about a garden is you've got to weed. You've got to weed the plants between them. I know, that's the horrible
Colleen's
bit.
nodding off.
I mean, we had an allotment when I was a kid, so I loved to go into the allotment with my mum.
But that's work.
Rhubarb. Tons of rhubarb.
Well, you can grow decorative vegetables in your garden.
I did companion planting, Janet. So I had an allotment. I was only in my 30s. Everyone thought I was mad, and I absolutely loved it.
Of course
and I did companion planting, so you put flowers in between vegetables. So it
I didn't know that was what it was called.
Companion.
You do it with someone else?
It's called companion planting. Do you
What, you do it with someone else?
No, just on my own. It's called. You
Well,
go
that's not companion.
row of flowers, row of...
Can I just show a picture of my beans?
Oh,
Can I do a bit of
Well, that is going to live in history.
So those carried on my dad's tradition. My partner put the canes up because we always have a big row about how to put them up. And now, that was last week. So can I show you the picture of what that row of beans will look like in just 12
bated breath,
weeks?
Cole, bated breath.
Dot, dot, dot. Look. That's exactly the same spot.
So you look like that in a few
weeks as well.
There's so many runner beans there, and I've planted all different beans at the same hole.
Just gone by them.
You too.
All right, come down.
Come on, wake up.
Miss
Coleen, wake up.
BCG.
Janet's going to teach you.
I'm putting an apron on. I want to
a
look
couple of very basic gardening hacks. The first thing is, Coleen, I know you like a potato, but you could have grown potatoes without...
I like potato because there's eyes in me.
Every potato's got eyes in it, and you let them sprout. You keep some old egg boxes, and you keep a few potatoes with the eyes in the egg boxes for about 6 weeks, and they produce little sprouts. And then you put them in a tub, a big pot, layer of earth in the bottom, put your potatoes in, cover it with earth. Can we see the slide of my potatoes? No?
Is it better than your beans?
Coming up. Coming
Where
up.
are the potatoes?
All right, it's a big tub of potatoes anyway.
So that takes 6 weeks.
Oh,
There it is.
So that takes 6 weeks.
That's about 8 weeks growth.
Well, I might not want potatoes by then.
Oh, no, you'll always want potatoes. I know you, Coleen. Right, so what I'm going to suggest now is anyone wants herbs and you don't want to splash out to buy the little plants at the gardening centre. Oh, I think these are like midgets.
Will you hurry up? We've only got a minute and I
All
need
right,
to
all
grow
right.
things.
All right, I'm telling you, buy at the checkout in the supermarket, you will see potted herbs. When you finish snipping off whatever you want, you can repot the remainder, keep the root intact. Get a little pot like this. Oh.
Why have I got gloves on and you haven't?
Well, because I can't get the gloves on my hands, love. Right.
You've been very aggressive with that.
I know, it's not very Alan Titchmarsh, is it? So what you do is, look, you split the herb like that, and you've paid whatever it was. You've got that. You can use that for cooking. You've got that bit. Just keep it wet, and you can replant it in the pot like that. And you've doubled your herbs, and that you can pot on when it gets bigger. And there you got herbs on your windowsill.
Wow. What can you do in 10 seconds?
Well,
I could
I'm going to leave them at it because Coleen is absolutely into gardening. I can tell she's thrilled.